Hello, this is Stitchy Witchy Bee. I'm Bee. My pronouns are she, her. Today is May the 3rd. As usual, I have excellent intentions of filming earlier and then things happen. So I do apologize about that, but here we are. Welcome and thank you very much for stopping by. This is a channel about and for cross stitch. I'm going to be going over my works in progress or WIPs that I worked on in April, and then discuss what I'm working on so far in May. And to remind return friends and let new ones know, I'm working on a lot of projects each month to try to make sure that I touch every single project that I have, and also try to finish 3 projects each month. I'm also doing a modified version of WIPGO, which is basically bingo using your works in progress. Which you can check out. Jessie Marie Does Stuff to find out more information about that if you are unfamiliar. Let's see. So for April, I was able to finish all 3 of my finishes, which is a step up from May, or this is May, March. Let's see. Okay, the first one. Oops. Let's see if I can make some small changes here. This is Bunnies by Colorfully Sarah. I did this on just a white 18 count Ada using, I think, the called for or something very, very similar to what was originally called for. Then there is Easter Tea. This is a pattern by Mama Witch XStitch. I did this on a 28 count Malachite by Fiber on a Whim using the called for DMC. And then lastly, and by far the biggest pattern that I worked on in terms of amount of stitches I did, was the Scandinavian Hare and Deer. Just barely fitting on the screen here. This is a pattern by Nara XStitch Patterns. I did this on an 18 count Oatmeal by Loops and Threads. Oops, sorry about the noise. I did do a conversion of the colors. I used 3371, 921, 3685, and 3852, all in DMC. And then last month, the WIPGO numbers were 6 and 14. Which for me were a monochromatic pattern and then a Christmas pattern. Like I said, I did a modified version, which basically just means a lot of people will typically do very specific patterns for each of their WIPGO numbers. I do broad categories. It makes it a little bit easier for me and my ADHD to cooperate. And I did show this in the video I did last month, but we will still make do here. I worked on Sampler Roses 3 by 2x2 Stitch Art. I was having a moment there. Okay, so we're going to have to do this in pieces because this is a very large piece of fabric. It's on 14 count black. So I came in over here, kind of brought it fully over to this inside border, and worked my way up, and also finished out the inside border here. This is just some more of what the pattern. It's a huge piece of 14 count black Ada. I'm just using white DMC, nothing fancy with this at all. Bear with me just a moment. And then the other square I worked on was a Christmas pattern. So I worked on Festive Forest by the Blue Flower. This was a Jingle Balls pattern a couple years ago. I believe 2024. And I did show this last month as well. I basically came in and finished what I believe is an elk. Might possibly be a reindeer. I still have not clarified that. I'm not sure. But I did get him done right in the middle there. And then for my extra large project, which for me is anything over 50,000 stitches, I worked on Fruit of Plenty by Modern Folk Embroidery, and I did remember for the first time and one of the few times to get a picture of where I was when I started this month. Basically, I did part of the center medallion. I had a little bit of it done already. Brought things up and over and then finished this little motif. So all I have left is the other large medallion on this corner. And then I'll have the full width of the piece. I'm doing this on just a white 25 count, using black coral and then shades of red by Dinky Dyes for the main floss colors. And then just some random other shades to help make the large medallions pop a little bit more. I actually did manage to get over 2,000 stitches just on this month. I was trucking right along, having a great time working on this. Alright, and then again in last video I did show the progress on this, but that's alright. For one of my general picks for the month, here we go. It's a large piece of fabric, so I'm trying to wrangle it a little bit here. This is Heart and Skulls by Pandora cross stitch. I only have a very small bit done. This is being completed on an 18 count that I hand dyed myself using, I believe, graphite, maybe a little bit of black. I also hand dyed the floss myself using Wine by Rit Dye for everything. This is not quite showing up right in terms of the shading. That's better. That shows the colors a little bit better there. And then I also got progress in, I think I might have showed part of this, but I worked on it a bit more. This is Possessions by Dots and Spots Shop. I'll need to get that white piece of fabric out again because this is not even remotely showing up correctly. Better. So for this month I finished out this monitor, took care of these plus signs, got the rocket ship and the robot done. I'm just using black sulky for the thread on this, and this color is an 18 count deep red by XJU Designs. And then the final project I worked on for the month is also one that refuses to show up properly. So let's see how this goes. What I really need to do is get a picture of this outside because the floss shows up beautifully in natural light. This is Quaker Nature Sampler by Tinsel Cross Stitch. Let's see if this helps at all. No. This is a beautiful blush pink fabric that just never ever shows up right on camera. I think I got it a little bit last time. And then this floss is also just not cooperating. This is an 18 count blush by Witch's Garden Crafts for the fabric. The floss is Bog Witch by Pirate and Robin. And the pattern, I think I said, was by Tinsel Cross Stitch. So this brings me over to this far corner. And then there is an additional plant and maybe a couple other things on this side. And then I will have the full width of the pattern mapped out. But those are what I worked on in April. And let me resituate myself a little bit and I'll show you what I'm working on for May. Okay, it took a few moments longer than I thought it would, even though I had everything right next to me. Okay, for May, my WIPGO choices, or the ones that were drawn by Jessie Marie Does Stuff, are 15 and 18, which for me is Something with Animals and then a New Start. So my Something with Animals, I have already started working a bit more on Chonky Forest Kitty by the Artsy Housewife. And I forgot to do all the floss and fabric notes on this, so I will do that at the end of the month. This is just to let you know what I will be working on. This is more of the border for that. And then my new start is the Twigs and Tea Stitch Along by Fine Frog Stitching. I do know what this one is, just because I got this all set up. This is on an 18 count Honey by Stitch Me, which again is just not showing up nicely. No, it's still not quite accurate. That's better, but not closer. That's a lot closer. So I do still have more stitches on both of these to hit my goal of 500 on everything for WIPGO, but it's only the third, so we're all right. And then in general, my extra large project will be Pandemic by Long Dog Sampler. This is one I hope to get quite a bit of progress on this month. And then, let's see, my 3 finishes will be, oh, actually, where's one of them? What did I do with it? Hold on. Okay, actually, I'm not sure where one of them is, so that will be something I'll need to find. I did work on it a little bit earlier this year. It's the All Are Equal in Death by Modern Folk Embroidery. I am hoping to finish that this month. And then I'm also going to be working on this small little pattern, Eat the Rude, which is, I believe, by the Witchy Stitcher from Hannibal. Oops, it's upside down. This one shouldn't take too long. And then Demonade by the Witchy Stitcher, which will be a much bigger project all in all because I don't have much done on it yet. But I loved this pattern the moment I saw it, and I'm so upset with myself that I haven't done anything further on it. But that is right here. And then the last 3 projects I'll be working on are No Time Like the Present by Modern Folk Embroidery. Oh, can't quite get it all in screen, but almost. And the floss colors are absolutely not showing properly. That's better. This is, I do know the stats for this one because this is another hand-dyed fabric by me. And then this is Roxy Floss Co. Cabernet for the dark red and Wascally Wabbit, I believe, for the orange. And then I'm also going to be working on Siren of the Sea. I don't usually do mermaid, but I also only have one mermaid pattern, so it is a little bit easy to try to remember to sneak it in. And this is by Autumn Lane Stitchery. And then finally, I've got, one moment. All right, and then the last project for this month is Medieval Sampler, another one by Tinsel Cross Stitch that I did a slight conversion on for the colors, so I will make note of that when I update again at the end of the month. But this is for May, and I only have a bit of progress in so far because it's only the 3rd, and I haven't stitched yet today, but we're trucking right along. Like I said, I felt really good about my progress last month, so I'm feeling pretty good about how this month will go. And that's it. That's all I got. that is it for this video. So thank you very much for sticking around, just both through this video and in general. I do really appreciate everybody who watches. I will see you in a month, hopefully, you know, getting a little bit closer to last day of the month, first day of the next. We'll see. We'll see how I do right around Memorial Day, end of May, early June. Remember to get enough water, stay safe, take your meds if you need to, and focus on what makes you guys happy. I'll see you all next time.